Hey everybody, welcome back to Dead by Daylight. I want to start doing these sort of topic slash discussion slash opinion videos because A, they're easy to make, and 2, I can make them when the game is so buggy to play I can't record it like it is still for 80% of the player base. These will be like once in a while sort of thing, so don't expect them like every week or maybe not even every month. It's basically only when I find a topic I can really talk about and sink my teeth into, or if I just have a rant. Honestly, that's what these videos are going to be about. Don't expect gameplay, maybe. Sometimes there'll be gameplay, but I kind of just want to focus on, again, these are designed to be easy to make, and recording gameplay for this game sometimes isn't the easiest. Like I said, it's still not working for 80% of the player base. I know they just put out a patch. I haven't really jumped on to see, but I just want to kind of make this video because, again, it's something I can talk about. But for those who don't know, there is an event. I hope you can hear those air quotes in my voice. Hopefully that picks up. But there is an event going on right now where behavior is giving us a set amount of iridescent shards and blood points every day for just logging in. The end total for logging in every day isn't even enough to get one character halfway to max level, and honestly, its sole purpose is to keep player count up so they can ignore the fact that the game is dying at a light speed breaking pace. Kind of ironic given the game's title. But it got me really thinking about how the blood point system works, and thus the topic for this video. When is a grind too grindy? Now, I have no problem with a game being grindy. I love RPGs and loot shooters. If you've paid attention to the main channel, you'll know that. Go check that out, please. I have put in hundreds, if not thousands of hours into games like Dark Souls 3, the Borderlands series, Skyrim, the list goes on. So I have no problem with grindy repetition. But in this video, we'll go over the inaccurate maths that drive this grindy as hell leveling system. Why inaccurate? Because it isn't an exact science. Some higher level blood webs, you'll have to pick 90% of the web to level up, and other times the entity will devour a quarter of the web in one turn. I've had that happen. Plus, every web is randomized. One web you'll get nothing but low rarity perks and items, and other webs you'll get nothing but high rarity perks and items. It's, like I said, completely randomized. It's kind of the fun quotes on that one as well. Fun about it. Let's get into the stats. On average, you'll need a total of 1,740,000 blood points. Give or take a few 100,000. Again, it's completely random, and some blood webs are fairly cheaper than other levels. A perfect game will net you 32,000 blood points. But we're not Ots or Tofu or a professional streamer that plays this game for a living 8 to 10 hours a day. So let's just say we earn an average of 20,000 blood points a game. That seems fairly easy to do if you're barely competent at the game. Without offerings or perks like barbecue and chili or we're gonna live forever, it'll take roughly 87 games. My math will be up on the screen in some shape or form. I'm pretty sure it's correct, but math has never been my strong suit, and I've actually stressed about these numbers quite a bit, so hopefully they're correct. But each game, it's also basic math, so hopefully I didn't fail too horribly failed upward yet again. But each game lasts roughly 10 minutes or so. Those 87 games will take you somewhere around 14 and a half hours on average. That's not taking into consideration the wait time between games and the fact that you might have some games that only last 5 minutes for whatever reason. Maybe you're just so good you gen rush and the killer DCs, or maybe you run the killer 2 loops and you get sacrificed first hook. Those instances will net you almost next to nothing. Now, playing with barbecue and chili or we're gonna live forever will make your life a lot easier, granted, as getting full stacks on either of those perks gives you up to 100% extra blood points after the match. That basically cuts your time needed in half. But without those perks, it's still 14.5 hours. I'll say that once more for the people in the back and those hard of hearing. It takes 14.5 hours to hit level 50 on one character out of 44. But hey, maybe you just want a main Pyramid Head or Ash Williams, so 14.5 hours doesn't seem that bad. It's only one character that you have to put time into. That would be correct if a semi-decent build didn't require you to get every survivor or killer up to level 40 to unlock the teachable perks. Once you unlock a teachable perk, then and only then are you given the chance to possibly see it in other characters' blood webs. And this is where the true grind really begins, because even though you spent 14.5 hours maxing a character out, there are 69 teachable survivor perks and 63 teachable killer perks for you to choose from, and, more dreadfully, unlocking each character's blood web. Now factor in that not only are there teachable perks, but there are also basic perks, which every character has in their blood web by default, and on top of that, there are 3 tiers to each perk. Survivors have a total of 83 perks and killers have a total of 75 perks, but like I said, each perk has 3 tiers to it that you have to unlock individually in the blood webs, so really there are 249 survivor perks and 225 killer perks. Even if you do unlock all of the teachable perks, you still have to find them in the blood webs. At level 50, there are 4 random perks in a blood web, but you can only get, if you're lucky and you plan it out correctly, 2 perks from a single web. So if you're looking for something specific like Corrupt Intervention 3 or Ruined 3 or Dead Hard 3, you better hope RNGesus is on your side, because if he isn't, you'll get nothing but Noed 1 and Insidious 1, which means that 14.5 hours of grinding one character can become days or even weeks of grinding. And for those wondering, by my math, it'll take you roughly 638 hours or 26.5 days total to get all 44 characters to level 50. And since there is a new killer and survivor added to the game every 3 months, you can add 29 hours on top of that to get those characters up to max level, plus the time it takes to unlock their perks in everyone else's blood web. It's a lot of time. So, how do we fix this? I have an idea. It's pretty simple. It's just lower the cost of the blood webs as a whole. Instead of common items and perks costing 3,000 blood points, have them cost 1,500 blood points. Instead of very rare items and perks costing 6,000 blood points, just have them cost 3,000 blood points. That alone, in theory, would cut that 14.5 hours down to 6 or 7 hours, which is still a grind, granted, but it's not as bad as it currently is. Or increase the amount of blood points earned per match. Since it's tied to the outdated medal system, and you're changing that anyway, when you change that, just increase the end of match rewards. By how much? Just double it, because then you're taking my first idea, but implementing it in a lot simpler way, so there would, again in theory, be almost no bugs. But it's behavior, so there's gonna be bugs. And honestly, while you're at it, remove perk tiers. Doing that reduces the overall perk pool from 474 perks to 158. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when a grind becomes too grindy. A lot of math in this one. Most of these won't include math, and honestly, most of these won't be as complicated because they'll just be random topics and discussions and opinions and rants. So, let me know if my math was right, because I'm pretty sure it was. Again, it'll be up on screen when I talk about it. Again, it's fairly simple math. It's basic division and knowing how many minutes are in an hour and going from there, honestly. But let me know how I did. What are your thoughts on how grindy this game is? Because it is incredibly grindy. And also, I think something I should touch on is you don't have to get every character up to level 40 to unlock their perks. You can get them through the Shrine of Secrets, via iridescent shards. But I think it takes you roughly 20 account levels to get that many iridescent shards. I think that's how it goes, and then again, it's still going to take you a while. And I guess I should also mention that once you have certain perks unlocked and they show up in the shrine, you can then use iridescent shards, 2,000 of them, to purchase a perk that you already have unlocked, and you get 150,000 blood points for that perk that you already unlocked. But then again, you would need those 2,000 iridescent shards, and you would also need the perk to be unlocked that week. So you're still spending hours upon hours, again, maybe even days or weeks leveling up characters. This game is incredibly grindy. Wasn't so bad when I started playing it because it was literally the only game that I played at that point, so it wasn't too bad. But now it's like there are other things that I play now, and I'm having way more fun with those. And your game is busted, and I cannot play it for that long. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I do have a topic for the next one, for I guess what I'm dubbing Discussions by Daylight, because everything I do needs a catchy name and a series title, because I'm quirky like that, I guess. But I have a topic that I'll discuss later, so the next one of these might not be too far down the road. But for now, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this discussion, because you didn't watch gameplay, that's for a goddamn fact, hook that like button, Maury the subscribe button, bing bong the bell, and until next time, I will see you in the grindy fog. Good luck!